Hello, today I want to do a little prelude to the video that you're about to see about the wraith scope, and because I don't want to confuse anyone about my feelings or my opinion of the wraith scope. Um, I had kind of a roller coaster ride with it. This is my first time uh, operating a battery operated scope, and I kind of went into a panic mode over some things that happened. But the things that went wrong, I found out later on they were just operator error, which was the first thing that happened was I zeroed it in, which was, I like the way it zeros. The way it zeros is you hold it, uh, you shoot a group, and then you set the crosshairs back on the bullseye, and you use the arrows up here to move it's a little cursor that comes up. You move that cursor over to where the group is, and the whole time, if you lose track of what you're doing, all you have to do is put it right back on zero. I'm sorry, write it back on the bullseye. And then when you hit enter, it's going to move those crosshairs to the group. It only took me one set of shots to zero the scope. I fired 3 rounds, moved the cursor, hit OK, and it set the scope. Now, when I went to set the scope down in the safe, and I went to power it down, I'm used to electronic devices giving you a countdown of 3, 2, 1. That gives you the option to uh, stop the power down session. But with this scope, that's not the case. You have to hold the power down button until it actually powers off. That was a mistake that I didn't know that I was making, and I zeroed it in, I powered it off, put it in the safe, but I didn't let it go all the way to zero, so the scope was actually still running. So 2 months later, when I took it out of the safe to go back down and test it again, the batteries were in the red area. So there was no power to the scope. There was nothing I could do with it. And at that point, what I did was we were in Cochrane, so the closest place I could find the batteries was at a Dollar General. So I went to a Dollar General and I purchased a pack of Energizer batteries. And I noticed that the pack was a little bit warped on the cardboard side. I didn't pay that much attention to it. Took it back, replaced the batteries, and the scope failed to power up. So I said, well, maybe that was a battery session. So I went back to the Dollar General and I purchased a different type of battery, which was the Duracell. Went back to the range, put those batteries in the scope, and it failed to power up. So what are the odds of you getting 2 different types of batteries from a store and they're both no good? Not real high odds, right? So I was in a little tizzy fit down there about it because it wouldn't power up. So when I returned home, I had some AA batteries. I was getting ready to send it back to the manufacturer, but I had some AA batteries that I knew they worked because I was using them in my trail camera. So I took those AA batteries out, put those in there, and it powered right up. So that was the case. There were 2 packs of batteries from Dollar General in Cochrane that evidently when they got that load into the warehouse, those batteries were damaged and it failed to power up. So it had me in such a fit. I was about ready to send the scope back. And so it gave me a chance though to see how the scope would react if it lost power. If your batteries went dead, well, you have to re-zero the scope. So after I powered it up, I went back out to another range and it powered up. And when I fired the shot, it was still zeroed at where I left it. So that was a good thing. So um, the other thing about the scope that I like is you can change the appearance of the crosshairs. You can have the reticles that have the elevation and the windage, or you can have a circular reticle with a dot in the middle, or you can have just a dot. There's several ones that you can choose from. You just scroll through the type you want and hit OK, and you set that. That'll be your reticle that you use. And when it came down to recording, I was also I didn't do that properly either. So there's the right hand arrow over here. You have to hit it twice. Once you power the scope up and you're ready to shoot, you hit that right arrow twice, and then it starts to count down in the corner. It starts to count your record session. So I was able to record a shot on here, and I've got that in the video, so I can show that to you. And So other than that, I would say I would give this wraith scope about a 4.5 stars out of 5. I don't rate things, so I don't know what that means to you, but that's just my opinion. Um, it's a good scope. It holds a setting. It's easy to zero. The other thing that I have to work with is the clarity of the scope. I need to find out exactly how clear I can get it, because it was a little bit fuzzy and grainy the last time I looked through it. So I'm gonna work with that, but it was nothing that really made me panic. I mean, I could easily use it in the woods or whatever. I haven't fired it at night, and the reason being, I've got to find an area that's legal for me to fire rounds at night, and I haven't found it yet. So once I find that, then I'll bring that back to you about how it holds up at night. But I don't think there'll be an issue, because I went through the zones as far as looking through it at night, and everything appears the same. So um, I don't think that'll be an issue, but we will keep you updated on that. But as far as the wraith scope, it is a night vision scope. It is not a thermal scope. So I would rank it as a very good scope to purchase. It's not expensive as far as scopes are concerned. It was my first time using a battery powered scope. I'm used to using the manual scopes, and the only thing that was battery powered may be the optics. You can illuminate the optics, but other than that, no battery power, and I didn't have to worry about it. So I would recommend that before you use it, before you go on a hunting trip with it, make sure you put fresh batteries in the scope and take fresh batteries with you into the woods to make sure that you have enough power to last you throughout your hunting section. So, hey, stay tuned for the video. It's a good video, and I'm about to take you to it now. And remember, don't be this guy. And we also have our merchandise at T Public. So don't forget, go to T Public and help support the channel. Purchase your shirt, your hat. We've got those on T Public. So I look forward to the support and look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Enjoy. Okay, I'm talking a little bit about these projectiles. Also, I did a test on these because I like to test projectiles before I actually go into the woods and hunt with them. This is a 6.5 Grendel, and that's a Hornady ballistic tip round. And this is a Hornady ballistic tip round that you can load for the 6.5 Grendel or the 6.5 Creedmoor. So that's just the projectile itself. I want to show you that. And what I like to test is because this is going to mushroom, which means all this right here is going to peel back when it hits. And that bullet is spinning. So this peels back as it's spinning. It's going to mushroom out, and the core of the bullet is like back here. That stays intact. That pushes everything through. And what I like to do is test to see how that's going to react when it hits something and it expands, how it's going to carry through. This round is not that much slower than a 6.5 Creedmoor, and but I want to test this for the damage it's going to do, and I did that on 2 jugs of water, one placed behind the other, so that way it has to penetrate one and then go into the other one, and we're going to see how it penetrates that one. That's what I want to do with it, and that will build my confidence up as far as how it's going to act when it hits game, and because the body is mostly water. So we tested that too, and actually it passed the test. So we're going to take you to the video after this and let you look at it. My scope is assembled. I think I'll drop, maybe to carry that in there, I don't know. I'll try to keep the ones I use most often. I keep them in my tool set. Okay. And these are the lithium batteries that come with this scope for that light. So there you have it. Okay. I'm going to start sighting in this wraith 4. We finally got everything set inside the scope with the time, the date, the caliber, and the grain of bullet. So now I'm going to send 3 rounds down range and see what happens. Yeah, see these shots. All right, we're going to see if we can set our crosshairs over here. And we know we're in line with this shot here, and we're in line with this right here. So let's move the crosshairs and try it again. All right, we're going with the second 3 shots. All right, let's go down and take a look. Austin, I think I'm done, man. That's 3 shots.
Dang.
From a 6.5 Grendel. At 100 yards exactly. I don't think I need to argue with that.
No.
Hey, that proves to be a real sweet shooting gun, man.
Yeah.
This is just fresh out of the box. So once that barrel fouled a little bit, I put 3 bullets right there. 100 yards. I think she's ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's ready.
Mm-hmm.
I made one adjustment on that. So what does that say about that Wraith 4?
Pretty accurate.
That's pretty good scope, man. And then that 6.5 Grendel, very little recoil, shoot smooth. And I was surprised. I was shocked at that. I may even be able to do my 5 shots through one hole with that rifle. That's good. That's good. So out here at the range, I was out here with my wraith scope, gonna test out my ammunition to see how it did on the water jugs at 100 yards. I was pleasantly surprised at the Wraith when I first installed it, put it on the rifle, and I have that footage of the shot group that it did for me at 100 yards. But today when it came out, as you can see, I had a power issue. The batteries went dead in the scope. So I rushed over to Dollar General, bought brand new batteries, put it in the scope, and it failed to power up. This scope will not power up. I put Duracell power boosts in here and also put brand new energizers in there, and it failed to power up with either one. So I'm gonna have to return this scope to Wraith and see if they can either fix it or repair it. But that's why we do what we do at this time of year, because I would not want to do this 2 weeks before opening day of deer season and have an issue. I like to get all these issues out of the way during the off season. I'm very disappointed this morning. I was prepared to give them 3 stars on the scope because I was able to put 3 bullets through the same hole at 100 yards with it once I sighted it in. But the record mechanism failed on me the first time, and this time the power went out and I cannot get this scope to power on. So I'm gonna have to say maybe a half star on the Wraith scope, the Wraith night vision. I'll get with the company to see what they'll do, and I'll keep you informed to see if they actually stand behind this product and try to fix it. Just getting set up out here, hot, and gonna go back and test this Wraith scope again. I've been waiting a long time to do this video because this is the first time I ever had a battery powered scope, and the scope did something I didn't anticipate it doing, and the batteries went dead in it. And that's something I didn't think about, was the batteries dying on the battery powered scope. So other than that, everything with the scope has been great except for the record mechanism. Seems like it's coming in a little late to record after the shot, so we're gonna see what it does today, if it holds the setting after the batteries go dead, and if we're gonna reset it. But it looks like it held the date and the time, so we're just gonna see if it's gonna hold the setting. I'm gonna fire a couple shots and see what it does here. Also, on the clarity at 100 yards, it took a while to get where I could see the target. I ended up having to cut a big piece of black vinyl to put over my dot, like an arrow, so that I could see the target through the scope. The clarity at 100 yards is just not quite what I would expect from or what I want from the scope. But other than that, we're gonna see what it does here, and we'll keep you posted. Stay tuned. Okay, we fired our 3 shots. Now we're gonna go down and take a look and see what we got here. That's the group that I shot. It's a little bit low. I'm gonna just raise it up just a little bit, but it's actually pretty good. That's actually a pretty good group there. As you can see, that's my thumb. That's 1, 2, 3, right there. So it's not too bad, especially when my rest is not as steady as I would like, and I'm kind of rushing the shots a little bit, but actually that's pretty good. Can't complain. Man. I'll say with the wraith scope, it held the setting. Batteries went dead, but I would give it a 4 out of 5, 4 to 5 stars, because 2 things: the clarity, record, and the fact that it's battery powered. That was operator error, because when you power it down, you have to make sure that you hold it. It's going to say powering down 3, 2, 1. If you let it go before it goes to 0, it's not powered all the way down. And that's what I did before I put it in the safe the last time, and it killed the batteries. This time it's been in the safe for 2 months with those batteries, and those batteries are still full power. So you see the group it shot there, and that's with it not being as clear. The clarity, I'm going to work with that a little bit more to see if there's a way I can get it a little bit clearer. But other than that, it's doing a fantastic job. It's holding a good setting, so I'll give it 4 out of 5. And this I'm going to try to do with the 6.5 Grendel. You see I have 2 bigger, larger water jugs here today. What is this right here? I'm going to see exactly what size this is. This is a 96 ounce, and it's sitting in front of a 168 ounce. And the reason I did it that way is because I wanted to have as much water, to penetrate as much water as possible, just to kind of put that bullet through a good little test. Because you know, when you're in the woods and you make a shot on a deer, he takes off running, you want to make sure that you have as much confidence as you can in that projectile that you use to try to take the animal down. And I was always told, well, I haven't always been told, but what I was told by a man once, it just stuck. He said, whatever you do in life is going to be 10% skill, 90% confidence. And we're out here today to try to build my confidence up in these rounds. And then I've got this bottle test with this rifle before I actually take it to the woods. That is the ammo that I'm using. You may be able to see this, I don't know. I'm going to try to set it up to where I'm going to shoot these bottles and see if I can burst both bottles with 1 shot. So the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. I won't be able to finish everything I want to do today, but I'm going to try this right here and see how it works. I'll have to reschedule, come back out another time to do the rest of it. Here we go. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, you can see the first bottle. See the point of impact right there? I was a little bit off center, a little bit to the left, but that's fine. It tore out of there and it hit this second here. And you see where it went in here. I can almost put that back together. And it came a clear pass through in the back. But what I'm looking at is the impact that was made as far as the damage that was done. That's what's going to happen to those vital organs when that bullet hits. So that gives me confidence. I think if I hit, I don't care what size the deer is, if I hit him with that, there should be no problem with him going down. So, you know, this is what it's all about out here today, is just building confidence up in that round. So I've got a lot of confidence in Hornady rounds. These are factory. I didn't load these. They shot fairly well out of the rifle, so I haven't played around with any loads for it. I may do that in the future, but right now, if it's not broke, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm gonna keep going with what I got.